my channel. It is Carrie from Coffee and Crafts, and today we are introducing a new product to the channel. It is the Arteza Premium Inkonic pens. They are triangular in shape, they are water-based ink, non-toxic, and according to them, unique colors. These are in fact Fineliners. Very similar to Staedtler Tri-Plus Fineliners. 1 millimeter thicker. Can you tell the difference between a millimeter? If you can, I give up. You're the queen. Okay, so this is a little bit different of a video than I usually do. It's gonna be a swatch video. If you know, you know, this is my swatch book. I have a book where I do all of my swatching. So I was thinking, nobody wants to watch a swatch video, right? I mean, they want to watch me color. But then I was watching a YouTuber who, I am not kidding, had 149 swatch videos, and I thought, maybe people do like to watch swatch videos. If you are one of those people, if you like to watch swatch videos, please tell me in the comments so I know what to include in my channel. Alright, let's get into this. Now, full disclaimer, I have already started swatching these a little bit on my own, and then I decided, let's save this for the channel. Alright, so we're gonna first, before I set this aside, let me show you the inside and what these look like. The colors, oops, pen fell. Everything's falling down. Okay, and sorry about the glare. There's nothing I can do about that. It's my light. It's nighttime, so I'm not getting a very good light source. Okay, so you get this foam to help protect the pins. You have all the names and numbers right here. This broke, but it's supposed to be like little handles, but the top one broke. I'm not sure if I could fix that or not. I might play around with it, but honestly, these will end up in a case probably. These are kind of flimsy. So here's the second row of set. So pretty. So pretty. You know me and my greens and blues. Oops, see, that popped right out. So these handles, great idea as Arteza, but need to work on that. Okay, so they have these. And then this is the last row. Yeah, it's the last row. Now the pins do have a really pretty and very legible branding and the number. It does not have the name on them. That would be one thing that I wish it had, is the name. But it does have the number. And we're gonna swatch the names, and then I will probably show you my labeling system. All right, so those are the colors. This is what I've swatched already, and we're gonna start with this next pin, which is A121. A121 is the color Honey. Okay, so let's set this aside. And then we'll get our swatch book out. Now this swatch book, if you haven't seen that video, it is Primosia? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But they have two designs, a peacock or a toucan and a deer, and they're both green. The reason I picked this particular book is, let me see if I can zoom in a bit and you can see, it has a light dot grid to it, so I don't have to worry about drawing any lines for swatching, and it's also watercolor paper. And comparative, you can hear that snap, so pretty thick. It is 160 GSM. So not like the top, but pretty thick. Okay, and I have swatched some other brands just to give you kind of an example of what we're doing here. And I've got lots of things to swatch, so I'm trying to keep up with it. So I swatched Jelly Rolls and Ohuhu 12 packs, and then an Artex Metallic 12 pack. They didn't have names or numbers, so. And then Stadler Pastel 12 pack. And then I skipped some pages. I'm working from the back forward because at the front I'm using it to brainstorm. Now next year, 2026, I may just have a swatch book that's just swatches. And then Stadler, I've started working on my Stadler pencils that I used in my last video, so I don't have them all colored in, but I have them all written down. And then I also have my Faber-Castell pastel pencils swatched here. To kind of look at, and I don't have to be searching or re-swatching over and over again. Or where's that paper that I swatched on? And there is some bleeding, but I don't care. Alright, so this brings us to, let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay, this brings us to our Arteza swatching. So I have done a few colors. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've done the first 12 colors, and one thing I noticed is some of them have dried out. So I have done some research, and there are things you can do, and we'll probably do that on the channel. It's super scary how you fix it, but we'll do it. This one, Cream, was super scratchy and dry. I may have to repair the nib on that one. This Pale Orange was okay. I had to really work at it. I did notice that if I shake them before I use them, that's a little bit better. So we'll see how many we actually have that are pretty dry and scratchy. And I'm guessing it's because I ordered from Amazon, and a lot of times they have a big supply of art supplies, and they just sit there for a long time and probably dry out. Okay, so the T, I know you're going to ask me, the T means transparent. So in my Joanna Basford books, I don't want to do flat coloring with colors that are super dark and wipe out the graphics that are there. So I'm interested in which colors are transparent and which colors are opaque. Now those opaque colors, they are still useful for shading. Okay, so let's get started with the next color, which is Honey. Okay, so we've got our pen. And that pen that was falling down, we're going to use that. Now I am using a Frixon 0.7 ballpoint pen, and the reason I'm doing that is because it's erasable. It's because Carrie makes mistakes, as I'm sure you're well aware. Alright, let's scoot this back a little bit. Okay. Are we zoomed in enough and in frame? Yeah, then you can see the whole page that way. Yeah, I always want to zoom on the product. Okay, let's zoom in like half a page and then we'll adjust. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so let's get a little more light on the subject. Where'd my pen go? Oh, here it is. Okay, and I need this light. I'm sorry if it's in your way. Okay, so I'm counting off 4 from the edge so that I have room for my swatch. Actually, I did 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's where we're gonna start. What is our number? A121. Now, I will give some commentary, but there will be some times where you're just listening to music. I hope that is okay, because I am not here to bring all of my drama to you. This is a hobby for relaxing, self-care, having a little bit of fun while still on a budget. Okay, so speaking of which, these Arteza pens, I want to say at the time that I bought them, they were about 50 cents a piece. Now that's pretty good. Staedtler is twice that, and half the colors. So you do the math. Okay, so this is the color Honey. And I'm kind of shaking it. I can feel it moving in there. I wouldn't necessarily say that it has an agitator in it, but I can feel the cartridge moving. So I do think it is helping to get the ink down. And I'm thinking the best recommendation would be to store these vertically so that the ink is pointed down. If you have our Arteza Fineliners and have an opinion about that, let me know. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 squares here, and I gave myself a little extra room, but that's okay. Okay. Now another thing that I found is these are kind of like pastel pencils where you don't want to make big, because it's a very fine point. You don't want to make big long strokes. You want to just make some little strokes. The ink is not going to flow out super fast. So this is definitely not a medium to save time. Which makes me think of, okay, what are the advantages of using fine liners? I've seen a few videos of what other people say, and it's similar thought. I agree with them. You don't need to sharpen your pencil because it's a pen. That's nice. It's cheaper than some pencils. Some pencils are pretty expensive. Now this is a transparent color. So we'll go ahead and put a T there. And we'll find the next color. You can also use them to make things more vibrant. or also more depth because you can use the darker colors for shadow that maybe your pencil could not get that dark. Okay, this is A156. And it is Sunset Yellow. Another reason you might like to use Fineliners is many people, myself included, are very intimidated by the super detailed pages like Joanna Basford, and it's all they can do just to do some flat coloring, and Fineliners are a great option for that. This is also transparent. I know they are all transparent right now, but that is going to change eventually. Alright, let's get the next color. But I do like these. I love the colors. I like how they're going down. I am a little disappointed that some of them are dried out, but I do think that these will make a nice addition to my coloring. This is A124. And it is the color Apricot. Carrie does not like apricots. Apricots are a love-hate relationship. Tell me in the comments, do you like apricots? I'd love to know. Am I alone in that? It's a pretty color. But the fruit, it has a strong flavor to it. Now that flowed a lot easier than some of the others. I definitely will have to do some repair at some point on some of these colors. And this one is in fact transparent. Okay. The next color is A206. A206. And it is the color Earth Red. Ooh, this is definitely a kind of a reddish brown. But you could do all of your coloring with fine liners if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. It's your world. Or maybe pick one book that you do all fine liners. That would be fun. But it's also a lot less stressful when you use fine liners because you're shading by changing colors, not necessarily having to think too hard about where is the light casting. So if that stresses you out, then you might like fine liners. Okay, this is transparent. It was questionable because this is a lot darker. I didn't think it would be transparent, but it is. Okay. Alright, the next color is A112. And it is just plain old, oops, keep on put that pin in. It's just plain old orange. Go ahead and make our swatch. I'm not a big fan of warm colors. I mean, they need to be there for contrast, balance, but in small quantities when you like mostly cool colors. But I gotta say, so far, even these warmer colors are really beautiful. And I know this isn't the right paper for these. This is watercolor paper, although it is water-based pen. But this has a lot of tooth to it, so marker paper might do better. I'm not sure. Does anybody know in the comments what's the best paper for fine liners, or is there one? Okay, let's check and see if this is transparent. It is a bit darker. It is, it's transparent. This is A169. And I forgot the color. I think it's orange rust. It's orange rust. Let's give it a little shake. Alex is here. He's very jealous. You, my pens. Oh, he loves pens. What's up, Alex? You miss me? Do you want to say hi to everyone? Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? No, Mommy, I want to play with your pens. Alright, we gotta take a little break to pet Alex. He's just using me to get on my desk. And if I let him, he'll jump up here over and over again. Okay, I outsmarted him. Okay, we're still a transparent color. That is awesome. Next, I need to get to my pens, please. He's rubbing his head against my elbow. He's a very sweet, but also very ornery boy. Alex, this doesn't work for me. I love you. Alright, he's at the top there. Nothing exciting, but we are out of the oranges finally. It is A101 red, just plain old red. A101. Yep, A101. Let me check and make sure you're in the screen. Might be time to shift things. Oh, we can do this one and then we'll shift. Oh, thanks. Mommy's working. Okay. Hey, don't eat that. Amazon packages are not for baby kitties. But he's not a baby. He's 5 years old. But barely an adult for a Maine Coon. Maine Coons are considered an adult at 4, I think. That's what I read. Now, this one might not be transparent. It's pretty strong. True red. So if you are using the color wheel, which I am, I like to use the color wheel to pick my colors. The names of colors sometimes help you, sometimes they don't. The Staedtler pencils, they are way off on their names. transparent color. I'm really surprised about that. Okay. I know pigs are in there, we just haven't run into them yet. Because I randomly tried a few colors and I was like, whoa, I can't use all of these for flat color. Okay, this color is Alex, I'm trying to read the color. It's A193. A193. And this is Flamingo Pink. Doesn't look very pink. That looks like an off-red to me, but okay. The barrels somewhat resemble the colors, but they are not exact matches. In case you were wondering. And it is transparent. I lied, we're back in the oranges. This is cadmium orange. It is A140. I would think it's probably considered a red orange, but I'd have to look it up. getting orange vibes. So I'm just loving that all these are transparent so far. I was worried I had made a bad choice. Okay, the next one is A195 Punch Pink. A195 Punch. Punch sounds delicious right now. We broke the hundreds today for the first time, and I'm not happy about it. Nope, not one single bit. Yeah, these are starting to flow a lot better. Some of those first few pins were a little scratchy. I think I'm gonna have to revive them. But these are really starting to flow nice. It just goes to show, don't jump to conclusions or give up on things too quickly. It might just be that you need to work out a little bit. Well, the shade is getting dark, but it's still transparent. Okay, the next color is A194 Tornado Red. A194. Now I heard that Arteza is trying to compete with Faber-Castell in that they are trying to make all their products have the same color numbers and color pigments, the same pigments. So that's pretty cool. So you could use their brushes along with this, or I don't know if they have a thicker liner like Stadler does, but you could use the same color and they would match. Okay, how do you spell tornado? Tornado? Sounds very violent. I've got some violent pins on my hands here. Let's just shake, make a tornado out of this red. Shake it a little bit. Okay. But yeah, definitely the lighter colors need to be revived. But it's getting better. That's just really flowing nice. Very juicy, as they say. A pen that has has a lot of ink available and they call it juicy. Okay. People are getting close to not being transparent. We're not there yet. That's not good. What are you watching, Mama? Alright, next color is A118. Autumn red, which is another reddish brown. That's really dark. What do you guys think? Is it transparent? Yeah, I can still... Yep, it is still transparent. Okay, that's our second page swatched out. It's our first 24 colors. We just have less than 100 to go. Was that 96 colors? So obviously we're not going to swatch all 120 in one episode. And you can see some ghosting, but that's okay. It's just a swatch. Alright, let's go ahead and do a few more. And Alex jumped in my chair. Oh, Alex. You're so jealous. You want me to sit down? I stood up to check the frame. It's okay. First thing we want to write at the top is Arteza. It's an Inkonic. So, someone mentioned that there are two different versions of Fineliners from Arteza. You might wonder, what's the difference? I think the Inkonics are their latest version of, new and improved version of their fineliners. And you can actually use these like a watercolor pen, kind of like the ink tints. This might be an option to use for a budget option to use instead of ink tints. I have not played with that yet, but I will. So you can actually use a paintbrush with this pen. Okay, we got our title. There's a glare, so it's hard to see. A114 Current Red. Let's try this again. It's A114 Current Red. I'm gonna count off 1, 2, 3, 4. You only really need 4. A114. Give it a little shake. Looking pretty. Kind of like a berry color. The other thing I've noticed is if you are struggling with the flow of ink, it is not a good idea to press harder. With these pens, you need to keep it light-handed. If you are heavy-handed, you're gonna struggle, because what happens is the tip starts damaging the paper. It's only 4 millimeters, you guys. it's very small. And so it's a sharp point that your paper will start pilling. That is something I learned the hard way. But at least I learned it on a Swatch book and not on something I cared deeply about. Okay. Another transparent color. The next color is A182. Wine red, as in the alcohol. Wine red. A182. A reddish brown, but more maroony? Is it a word? This is a really pretty color. The main reason I decided to go with Arteza, I saw a few people that liked them, and I liked the idea of more colors than what Staedtler was providing, but I do like Staedtler. I have a 12-pack. I have a feeling they don't have very many transparent colors in their 60 set, but we'll find out eventually. Alright, that's so dark I don't think the tea would show up, so it can't possibly be transparent. I think the colors are showing up darker on the watercolor paper, but it is in fact a transparent color. E160, and I already forgot the color. Rosewood. E160 Rosewood. Sounds like an address. Huh? E160 Rosewood. Rosewood is kind of a pinkish brown, I think, huh? Sounds pretty. Another thing you guys could tell me if you use these pens, is shaking helping me? Is that doing anything, or is it just making me feel better? This is pretty, kind of a burgundy. It is going to be fun using this set. The question is, which book should I dedicate to the Arteza pens? I have a few Joanna Basford books, but I've started all of them. Well, not all of them. I have Rooms of Wonder, I have the Jungle one, and I just got The Secret Garden. So any one of those I could use I could dedicate to Fineliners. I think that would be fun to use. Have one book where you dedicate one supply to the whole thing. Does that sound interesting to you guys? It sounds interesting to me. Like that whole completionism feel. Okay, I would call this transparent. Okay, we've been at this for about an hour. So I'm gonna do one more, and then the colorway changes to some light pinks. So we'll stop the swatch there. So let's see, what color is this? It is A148. Has about reached his limit of sharing me with you guys. He gets extremely jealous. Good purple. Give it a little shake. It's really dark on this paper. I am kind of going over it again. That could be making it to fill in the spots I missed. That could be making it darker. Look how dark that is. It's so dark. Okay, let's check. This is a close call. Fence over. This would be transparent. Technically it's transparent, but you have to look really hard to see it. I think I'm going to call this opaque. I'm going to call this one opaque. That's just really getting into shading. Honestly, this could, any on this page really, these last three especially, could be considered opaque. And I might change my mind. We'll see. Might be something we would have to use to determine, but this definitely is too dark. It is definitely opaque. And the red wine is just as dark, so, but the color is lighter. We'll have to work with it in this side. So maybe what we do is say opaque or transparent. Opaque / transparent. These are the last. This one's definitely opaque, and that one's transparent, but these are maybes, and this is definitely opaque. Okay. Alright, that is a good place to stop. What we've accomplished. So I did these on my own, and then we did these together, some oranges and reds, and then some reddish browns, and then we're going to stop there. And looking at our tools. And we are still on the first tray, so we've made it to here. As you can see, we'll be switching to some lighter pinks, more true pinks, in the next episode. And we'll be able to get that done next episode, and then we can start working our way through these beauties. Alright? Go ahead and close this up. And we'll end how we started. hydrate. Alright, if you enjoyed this swatching video, if you enjoyed seeing Arteza Inkonic pens, if you own them yourself or are considering buying them, please, I would love to hear your art journey as related to this swatching video. And do you like swatching videos? Would you like me to continue to do swatch videos? Alright, if you like the video, please like the video. If you would like to subscribe, please do so. I invite you to join my coloring journey. And as always, happy coloring!